body. This is MattDoesFitness, and my dad always used to say to me, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. That was just before he got arrested in an Italian prison for killing 20,000 Christians. Okay, I have made this video to talk about the fact that I believe it is a good thing to do this. And this. Okay, you're probably thinking, are you mental? Now what you've seen there is me failing a squat and me failing a bench press. Now, if you're new to my channel, that is a fairly regular occurrence for me. I tend to fail lifts, not every session, but quite frequently. Every few weeks, I may drop the bar on a squat. I may have to roll out of a bench press. It's not a rare thing for me. Now, while I'm not advocating, I'm not saying, brilliant, go to the gym, do your max bench press, drop it on yourself. Obviously, that's a ridiculous thing to do. What I'm saying is that I think the vast majority of people that train, or a lot of them at least, could hugely benefit from changing their outlook, being a bit more fearless, and not being scared about failing. Now, I'm not talking about the general ethos of failing. I don't mean having a bad session and thinking, I feel bad, that was a terrible session. I'm talking about physically failing. So, like I said, like you saw there, going for a squat and getting stuck and dumping the bar, or going for a bench press and getting stuck and having to roll out of it. Now, I believe those things can be a fantastic training tool, and I believe once you get your head around the ability to do those things, it can be hugely liberating, and it can kind of take your training to the next level, and I'm going to explain why. Now, my first point would be this: if you have never failed a rep, be it on a squat or a bench or whatever, how do you know that your best, the best you've ever done, is your best? I don't believe you can know that unless you are, vastly experienced, and you know your body so well that you can tell, where that kind of threshold is and when you're about to go over it, and you can stop yourself. But I believe the majority of people don't have that knowledge, they haven't got that awareness of their body, and so unless you have failed a rep, you don't know. If you're squatting, if you're testing a 1 rep max, and you get to a point where you get down and you can't get the bar up and you've got to dump it, you know that is, you can't physically squat that weight. You know you have hit your limit. If you don't get to that point, I don't believe you've done, I don't believe you know that. Now, again, I'm not advocating that you go to the gym and you fail all the time. Obviously, if you start failing reps consistently, then you're going to lose that training quality, that training volume, and obviously your gains are going to suffer. What I'm saying is that once in a while, I believe it is a good thing to fail. I think it shows that you are pushing your body to its limits. You're going to get that progressive overload, and as a result, you're going to get those gains, the strength and size gains. Now, me personally, what I found is that with my squats are a good example. My squats have gone up hugely recently, and I believe part of that is because I'm not scared to fail. I've so many times I've got stuck at the bottom of a rep. Now in my gym there's no safety racks. I don't generally have spotters, so when I get stuck at the bottom of a rep, I literally dump the bar on the floor. I've done it so many times that it's kind of second nature to me. I don't even think about it. I'll get to the bottom if I'm stuck. Before I've even had a chance to think, oh crap, I'm stuck, I'm already out of under the bar. Now, what I would kind of challenge you to do is go out there and do that yourself. Don't put on, again, don't go mad, don't try and squat your max and then get stuck under it, because if you die, I'm probably going to get sued. What I'm saying is, put on a lightweight and just have a go. Sit at the bottom of the squat and just try rolling it down your back. Now, I've made videos on how to fail a bench, how to fail a squat before. You can go back through my videos and find them. If you really want it, then ask me and I'll link it in the comment section. But it's a very simple process. It's literally a case of just letting go of the bar and getting out of the way. I don't believe it requires a huge amount of skill. It's just practicing it a few times. Within 2 or 3 times of doing it, it will be easy to you. It will become second nature. And the beauty of that is, when you are squatting, again, for me, if I go to the gym, there's not always someone there to spot me. And if there are guys there, they're not always strong enough to really help. So a lot of the time, I need to rely on myself. And I don't want to have to fit my training around when other people are going to be there. So I'd rather be able to do it whenever I want. And I can, because I know if I'm squatting, worst case scenario, if I'm really struggling or I want to go for a max or whatever and I get stuck, I know I can roll it, let it drop, and it's not a problem. And I know in doing that, I've really pushed myself to my limits. Again, I'm not going to do it all the time, but if you can eradicate that fear of failure, it is, like I said, it's so liberating. You know that whatever happens, you're going to be okay. Again, looking at the bench press, and again, it's so important you realise, I'm not advocating, I'm not saying, yeah, go to the gym, bench your max and just drop it on your chest. Obviously, please don't do that, that's going to be stupid. But what I'm saying is, if you are, again, in a gym by yourself and there's no one there to spot you, if you are benching, you want to bench heavy, I believe as long as you practice getting out of the kind of roll of shame type thing, and again, let me know, I can link you that video where I show you how to do that. But you saw me do it earlier. It's a very, very easy thing to do. All you need to do when you're locked out, when you come down, you realise you're not going to get it, don't freak out, don't panic, just let the bar come down to your chest, roll it to your stomach and sit up. Absolute worst case scenario, you get a few bruises on your stomach. I mean, I've done it with like 350 pounds and I got a little bruise on my stomach, that was it. It's gone in a couple of days, absolutely fine. I think as long as you have practiced that, so again, going to the gym, just put something really, really light on the bar and just practice putting it onto your chest, rolling it to your stomach and sitting up. And again, within a few attempts of doing that, you'll realise that it's no big deal, and what that means is when you do get stuck, when you are in trouble, then you've got that escape mechanism. You don't have to freak out, there's no risk. I've seen some horrendous videos where idiots have tried like lowering the bar and trying to get it over their head and stuff. It seems so simple to me, but again, if you've done it a few times, there are no issues there. And even if you don't feel safe benching heavy with no one there, if you ever are in that situation, then it's good to have that kind of fallback, that backup. So, if for nothing else, I think it's good to practice that squat and the bench press escape in particular, because it means if you are ever in that situation, you know how to get out of it. But again, going back to my overall concept, I believe, it's so important, not just generally speaking specifically, that you are not scared of failure. I think for a lot of people, that is one of their biggest inhibiting factors to their training, that they are scared to fail. Again, I would challenge you to just try failing a couple of reps, get that kind of ethos embedded, and I believe that a lot of you will experience really, really positive results as a consequence of doing that. I think when you get rid of that fear of failure, your training goes on to a new level. Again, as long as you're not doing it all the time, as long as you moderate your training, as long as it's all kind of programmed in so that you're not always going, like balls out and you're not failing all the time, as long as that is controlled, and sometimes I go to a session and without wanting to be pessimistic, I think, there's a chance I might fail a rep today. But it's not going to inhibit me because I know that I can get out of that safely, and that enables me to push myself to where I want to be, to my limits. And again, that progressive overload is going to allow me to adapt and get stronger. And I believe I have categorical proof of that because, again, my squats have gone up hugely, and I think some of that is because I know how to fail, I'm not scared of doing it. So, my overriding conclusion would be, just go out there, have a go doing a bench, have a go doing a squat, do it light, just have a practice, have a go dumping the bar, have a go rolling it down your stomach. Obviously with bench press it's not an issue, obviously with deadlift it's not an issue because if you get stuck, you fail a rep, you can just drop it on the floor. But as far as I'm concerned, failing a squat or failing a bench press is no more of a challenge than failing a deadlift. It's literally a case of just getting out from under the bar, and as long as you practice it with a lightweight, you'll find it easy, and I promise you, it will make a big difference. Psychologically, in your head, that there's no fear of going to 100% or even beyond that, trying to beat your PRs. There's no fear there because worst case scenario, if you get stuck, you know how to get out from under the bar. And that is all I wanted to say, but I do think it's a really, really important message. So, like I said, I can't emphasize this enough. Please do not go mental and go and lift a stupid weight and drop it on yourself because you're probably going to die, and that is going to reflect badly on me. Just build it up gradually, have a go light, see how you feel. If you really, really don't like it, don't do it. Get spotters in, just bench with your friends and squat with your friends. But for some of you, if you do have to train, some of you train at home in the garages or whatever, if that is the case, this is a really, really useful tool to have in your kit. So, hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, as always, and I will see you tomorrow.